So this is where I am today. Portsmouth. Furner Historic Dockyard over there. Well, maybe an historic dockyard, but might go somewhere else. Spinnaker Tower over there. Yeah, this is where I am today, and I'm going to go for a wander, take some pictures and possibly visit one or two of the museums whilst I'm here. So, and this is one of the reasons why I'm here, from the D-Day Museum. This thing, the landing craft tank 7074, the only type of ship left in the world, well, of this type of vessel, from D-Day, of course. Was it? People already on there. I've arrived a little bit late for opening. It's quite a walk in there. The promenade's actually undergone a lot of works at the moment, so there's a slight detour, but nothing too dramatic. But yeah, an actual D-Day veteran, this ship. Landing craft LCT 7074. 59 metres long, and as you can see from the pictures, could carry tanks to the beaches. The museum's only a small one, but it is an excellent museum. I have been here before. It's been a few years since I've been here actually. They're very crudely constructed, and it's obviously been patched up over the years because it's been used for different things over many years. But yeah, it is an original one. So I've just purchased a ticket, and I've been recommended to go onto the landing craft first instead of wandering around the museum because they've got groups in today. But that's fine. When you do buy your ticket, you buy your ticket in the museum around the corner there. They give you a sticker to put on your clothing, and then you come outside and go to the landing craft, which is what I'm going to do now. Hopefully they'll be fine with me vlogging it. Anyway, here we go. Right, here we are on the landing craft tank. And yes, there are a couple of tanks for scale. You just can't believe the size of this thing. It's so awesome. Yeah, so we've got a Sherman there, and that in the distance is a Churchill Crocodile, model of the ship. Welcome to landing craft LCT 7074. As you look around, it is a ship designed for carrying soldiers and vehicles. This is one of over 800 LCTs that carried Allied troops to Normandy on D-Day on the 6th of June 1944. And it's one of, I think it's the only one left in the world. Oh, the old Carsies. Ship's Carsies are so unique. Yeah, Sherman, short 75 version, war winning tank. Also Sherman Grizzly. What's the difference between the Grizzly? This Sherman tank was designed in the USA. Our tank is a model called the Grizzly. This type of Sherman was used only for training and was not used for battle. Fair enough. Oh, and there's a marked out route. You see the arrows? There's a marked out route for going around. So you look at it, it's just so crudely constructed, riveted and welded together. No fine finish, just thrown together, but it was made to do a job, and it did its job brilliantly. Lots of information stuff around, but I haven't been here before. Prisoners. Yeah. Churchill Crocodile. There's your flamethrower in front. Awesome vehicle. Now I'm going to quickly take a picture because it is the Churchill Crocodile, so don't mind me. Another thing about this Churchill Crocodile is it lacks the fuel trailer at the back, but the one in Bovington, the Tank Museum in Bovington, does have one. Yeah, awesome vehicle. People may slate it, but this was a very tough, robust vehicle, excellent climbing abilities. And yeah, no entry that way, so we shall go this way. Right, and now into the main crew compartment. This is where, well, the rear of the ship was where everything went on. what do these markings mean? So HH Squadron LCT, number of the LCT, 74. It's hidden behind, 7074 is hidden behind a darker coloured sign mark 3517, fair enough. Yeah, it had quite a journey from when it was manufactured to when it was kind of used, where it ended up. So yeah, March to April 44, it was built in the, constructed at the yard of R&W Hawthorne Leslie and Company, which is up here, near Newcastle, or Tyne and Wear. And then May 1944 went to Great Yarmouth, Norfolk, and then 2nd of June to Felixstowe. And 7th of June, after arriving off Gold Beach on the evening of D-Day, and the LCT lands its tanks in the early morning of the 7th of June 1944. From June 44 to April 45. Yeah, making many trips to France and later to Belgium, carrying more tanks and troops and supplies. And then in 1947 to the 1970s, it went to the Albert Docks, Liverpool, become a floating club ship for the Merseyside Masters and Mariners Club. And from then 1968 is the night, and then from 1968 is the nightclub landfall. And that's kind of its history. And eventually it got purchased and restored to the place where it is now. But yeah, this is where the crew would have been. It's not a ship built for luxury use. It's that simple. So it was built to do a job, and that job was to carry tanks to the beaches. That's how they kind of would have lived. Hammocks slung up from the top, and your mess deck there. There's some. Cool. The engine would have been here as well. Yeah, where I'm standing now is the engine room. So there's a cut bulkhead there. That bulkhead would have been all solid, and the crew would have been behind that next to the engine. I can't imagine, because that's the chimney. Yeah, I can't imagine it being the quietest place to sleep in the world. Some more information here about the sections of the ship. So yeah, that's where we are, the engine room, crew compartment. Then you've got other little compartments up the top there. We're going to see those in a minute. Would stay and read it all, but you know, it's just don't have the time at the moment, unfortunately. I'm too busy prattling around, taking pictures and stuff. Churchill crocodile. Awesome tank. Yeah. Let's get upstairs. Just had to check if I'm still recording. Yeah. Now we're on the upper deck. So there's your ballast tanks. I love it, it's just rugged simplicity, it's brilliant. And so being the only one left in the world, it's absolutely fascinating. I think I've just gone the wrong way going by that arrow. Let's go back in the right way. Well, gone back in the right way, I guess I'm going upstairs.
Get it further away so my eyes are dark and the outside is dark.
So now on the upper deck, the gun deck, so a couple of Orlicans. This is the bridge. I mean, I would have had a canvas cover by the looks of it, but this was a bit rough in the mornings, on a cold morning, especially in winter. Okay, for all your signal flags. So it's very cramped. So here's the chimney, and even just to squeeze through here to get to the back is a squeeze for me. But yes, the Orlican. I mean, I'm not the tallest person in the world. I mean, I'm 5'5" or 165 centimetres. And yeah, this is actually still quite high for me. Well, I guess it's now I'm tiptoeing to get my shoulders into the shoulder rests. Well, hey ho. Yeah, bit around the aircraft defence, although by that time when the war had been thoroughly decimated. Yeah, very cramped. Every space, like every sort of ship, every space is used for something. Thinking of ships, if you ever go to, say, like the Chatham Dockyard, they've got a World War II destroyer, HMS Cavalier, a C-class destroyer. Fantastic ship to walk around. But if you've ever been on HMS Belfast and you compare it to HMS Cavalier, because HMS Belfast is a town class cruiser, it's a lot bigger, it's over 10,000 tonnes, yet the HMS Cavalier, C-class destroyer, is only a couple thousand tonnes. The size difference, ignoring that, there's just, in terms of sheer space volume, the destroyer is just filled up with machinery. Every corridor is narrow and everything's filled with something, whereas on HMS Belfast you've actually got quite a lot of room to move about, except for sleeping. Anyways, let's carry on with the tour. It's quite a stark view, isn't it, over the front of the ship. Is it the bow or is it the stern? You can tell I don't do naval stuff. I'm not sure what the correct terminology is. Yeah, that's quite a view. How many tanks do you reckon it would hold? I reckon about 10 or 12 packed in there to take off on the beach, possibly. And they would have been shipping thousands of vehicles across the Channel to France. Yeah. That's a porthole for maps. There's your steering wheel flags, which I've already mentioned. There's your chimney. Time to go down the dangerous steps. Everything's steep on these old vessels. Let's have a quick look around the rear of the ship. Don't think I'm going the right way, I honestly have no idea. My map just tripped up that almost. Guessing this is the officer's toilet. Their own personal sink and then their own carsy. Officer's cabin. There's your kitchen. And the chef would try and prepare stuff. Christ, that is fiendishly cramped. Oh, I'm guessing that's the captain's quarters. Christ, next to the chimney as well. Oh, it's got simulated chamber pot piss. It's not cosy at all, is it? Oh no, here's a steering wheel. Periscope of some sort. I don't know what that was up there, cover under cover then, because this is the steering wheel table. All very basic. So yeah, that was it. I've explored the LC T7074. It's not a big ship. I say it's simple, it's rugged, it was built for a job, and it did its job. And it's the only one left in the world. There's not much to look at on it because it is just such a simple vessel. But it worked brilliantly for what it was intended what it was intended for. Make my way back into the museum now. Now I won't bore you with that. Let's get into the museum. So, just entered the museum from the front entrance. I've started recording now. Soon the entrance to the museum is the immediate right of the door, but say when you've got a sticker and a badge, it's okay. Yeah, and this is the D-Day Museum. You can get audio guides for this. I don't need one, 'cause I've already been here. Dunkirk D-Day. Preparations. This is not the end, this is not even the beginning of the end, but it is perhaps the end of the beginning. Famous words of Prime Minister Winston Churchill after the Battle of El Alamein in November 1942. As you can see, it's a very small museum, so that's where we are. Just go around there and come out there. I'll go and look in the gallery later.
Gentlemen, eyes front and your full attention, please.
An excellent little museum, this.
Let's remind ourselves why the success and popularity of the Jack Group. Unless we regain a foothold on the continent now, the likelihood of the fighting and dying in their millions on the Eastern Front since 1941. So, gentlemen, the plan is Normandy, Joyce, including the Germans.
So what's special about Normandy then?
It's no secret that Rommel's Atlantic Wall is nigh on and remains close enough to allow our aircraft to reach the state in 90 days.
Yeah, but will it work?
Many more important and more informed voices than yours have asked that very same question. It's certainly no piece of cake. Even once the beaches are secure, France will be very hard won. Tougher than our victories in both North Africa and Italy. But in my opinion, and more importantly the opinion of High Command, yes, this plan will work. But General Eisenhower knows, as we all do, that this great, just undertaking to free Europe from monstrous tyranny hinges upon one great, unpredictable, imponderable.
And what's that?
Weather.
The car. Maybe in the rain.
Wanted Sicily. You don't want. Normandy was met for very specific reasons. Both ends of the landings from the enemy counterattack. Then the Navy will begin one of the biggest bombardments in history. Ready for the most ambitious amphibious landing ever staged. Finally, in staggered landings across a 50-mile front, 130,000 troops will hit Normandy's beaches with the objective of securing every one. Ready to move inland and reach the state in 90 days. Many more important and more important voices than yours have asked that very same question. Certainly no piece of cake. Even once the beaches are secure, France will be very hard won. Tougher than our victories in both North Africa and Italy.
Ces bêtes, elles ne font pas distraction, elles tuent des familles entières.
And more importantly, in the opinion of High Command, yes, this plan will work. But General Eisenhower knows, as we all do, that this great, just undertaking to free Europe from monstrous tyranny hinges upon one great, unpredictable, imponderable.
Les derniers bombardements alliés sont un signe clair, alors eux ils doivent le savoir aussi. Les partisans ont déjà été arrêtés hier soir. Les renforts affluent en Normandie.
Gentlemen, I strongly your full attention, please. At the risk of going the wrong ground, let's remind ourselves why the success of Operation Overlord is critical to the future prosecution of this war. Since 1940, the ground backside more than 3 kicked out of the war. And despite the miracle of the administration, 4 years past, and our friends across the channel still suffer the brutality of the war. Unless you're able to hold on to it now, the likelihood of the Allies liberating Europe from the darkness of the Nazi occupation and advancing towards Berlin to end this war anytime soon is frankly high in the sky. And I need to remind everyone that Stalin's case is at an end. Russians have been fighting and dying in their millions on the Eastern Front since 1940. So, gentlemen, the plan is Normandy. Yes, of course, college is convenient stones throw away. And that's a decent war too. We all know how it ends the opposite. And the fortifications are nowhere near up to strength. In principle, we presented an outline. Yes, this is a culture. More aircraft, more ships, more landing craft. But all you have to Normally wants to get for very specific reasons. Normally you engage close enough to allow detect the land on the beaches. And shadow. Perfect way with a massive armada landing craft. And long enough for a front, so broad that the enemy will look to retain the weight of our All in the range of the BBC at 42, 10 million postcards and photos of pre-war holiday on the continent sent in. Combined with RAF aerial reconnaissance, being able to build up an intimate and detailed picture of Europe's entire northern coast. So gentlemen, in a nutshell, it's how we operate. Combination of ships, aircraft and men, 13 hours. Mines really cleared away almost 1,000 ships and landing craft. The South Coast ports, Virginia, meanwhile, aircraft will begin bombing the enemy's vital defences, as well as railways, bridges, and communications. Our friends in this Atlantic Ocean. Early the following day, Hatch was deployed behind every night to protect both ends of the landings from enemy counter-attack. Then the Navy will begin one of the biggest bombardments in history, with the most ambitious amphibious landing ever. Finally, after 50-mile flight, 130,000 troops will hit Normandy's beaches with the objective of securing every one. Ready to land and resustain 1950. Many more reporters and more informed voices will also ask that very same question.
Already.
So there's no piece of cake.
Paratroopers do that big.
Many more beaches are secure. France will be very hard on. Tough on victories in both North Africa and Italy. But in my opinion, and more importantly, the opinion of High Command, yes, this plan will work. But generalizing how it knows, as we all know, that this great, just undertaking to free Europe from a monstrous tyranny hinges upon one great, unpredictable imponderable.
What's that?
Compass. Oh, comms, have you seen these? Sleep.
Now, the likelihood of the Allies liberating Europe from the darkness of Nazi occupation and advancing towards Berlin to end this war anytime soon is frankly highly estimated. And I need to remind everyone that Stalin's pace is at an end. And dying.
Like the man says, if you might face that for all, I suppose he's right.
So, gentlemen,
6 months, meetings, forecasts. Before I even make my report, he always seems to know it's bad news. Yet, no one seems to appreciate that predicting the weather, especially in the English Channel, is notoriously difficult. There's so much at stake. My predictions will fundamentally change the course of the war. Getting it wrong It's the difference between success and disaster. And God knows the lives of tens of thousands of our men. They don't know. Invasion, storm their head.
To try to explain the episode to F-21 who wasn't there would be impossible. Fire rain animals from the bunkers on top of the hill. We saw men frozen in the sand. They never moved. The beach was covered with bodies, men with no legs, no arms. God, it was awful. It was absolutely terrible. Sergeant Eric Bear, 29th U.S. Infantry Division.
Swam ashore about 50 yards, under machine gun fire, with a bonfire that we heard someone say. Perhaps we're intruding. This seems to be a private beach. Sergeant Donald Gardner, number 47, Royal Green.
Chiefs of staff 2 and 3 times a day. Johnny the pants on the church. Whenever he drops in unannounced, taking the call on Mr. Stop.
We'd never been under real fire and realized that we were also raiding our assault craft. A machine gun fired from the second floor window of the hotel focused on our downdraft. The three in front of me were hit and killed. I jumped out between persons and rising blood. Like I started thinking I was
Everything seemed to have gone to plan. We prepared to push on inland. The villagers were out waving the tricolour and giving out glasses of Calvados. We emerged into open country. It wasn't long before the 88s and Moses were giving us a pasting. We lost several lads on that stretch of road. Private Jeffrey Dustin, first Norfolk.
When we got to the top of the cliff, I had a head count. I landed 180 men and 8 officers. I counted 13 men, 1 other officer beside myself. Captain Edward Wazinski, 1st U.S. Infantry Division.
When the firing stopped, it was mid-afternoon. We could not hold the ridge steady enough to shave for the next few days. Private John Fitzgerald, 101st U.S. Airborne Division.
At this point, we were not sure the invasion was sustained. Our company was shot so badly and there was no organization. We didn't know what the other sectors were doing. We felt helpless and alone. Sergeant Bob Sayles, 29th U.S. Infantry Division.
Men unequipped were boarding into the 10-minute invasion craze. Red cars, jeeps, tanks, artillery. IG hauling, first townships.
here. I'm a day of seasickness if you don't want to. What is my head? You wouldn't even be out with that. You wouldn't, would you? Sarge?
There's a boy with my name on it. I just know it. As soon as we hit the beach, I'm a comet. I'm just not that lucky. I'll never. God, I really. I'm so sorry.
Now, I have no clue what they're in for. All sorts. They're just kids. But I've been here before, and I don't feel so lucky this time round.
South Lancashire's got it like callers. I mean, the Jerry's can't be right ships, can they? Not patrolling the beach. So we should be alright, shouldn't we? Jesus. We're taking whatever for it. If we don't get there soon, we're either going to break up or drown in the process. Not taking my chances on the beach anymore. So, what are you going to do?
So that was the main museum bit of the actual D-Day exhibition. I'll go into the embroidery soon. Kept a bit quiet in there because it's quite a claustrophobic space, and I don't think people would want to listen to me speaking. I'll do some captions or post audio later. Let's go to the embroidery. The embroidery is on the other side of the museum. On this raised platform, there's gift shop and cafe there. Cafe's quite a good one. Whether I'll get anything to eat in there, we shall see. Yes, this embroidery is inspired by the Bayeux Tapestry. If you know what that is, then you'll understand this. But yeah, it's embroidery of the build up to D-Day and the D-Day itself. I'm doing this quickly because I want to get to the historic dockyards quite soon. It's an amazing tapestry. It's beautifully coloured as well. There's information as I describe in each bit, but yeah, each segment of what's involved in the tapestry, but yeah, I'll have to skip that. There's the king at the time anyway, George VI, I think. Needless to say, the quality of it is a bit better than the Bayeux Tapestry, but I guess that's about a 1,000-year difference everywhere. Recognise a B-17. Mosquitoes and Lancasters.
And we know for sure as either a British or a Canadian soldier. And the reason we know that is because that was taken from a photograph, not from D-Day, but from the Dieppe landing. The Dieppe landing was in many respects to try and clear yourself out of the minefield. So either you bypass the minefield or you set back in the tunnels. And the reason being, there would have been no females in the advance party in terms of the fighting troops. The women would have been held to the rear, they'd been working in hospitals and providing that additional support on the support ships, etc. And then as the Allies would have advanced further in, then of course they would have been 1-2 steps behind. Again, the detail here, you can see a British Major, a crown on his shoulder, and then the letters RAMC, which stands for Royal Army Medical Corps. And to the rear, you can see the padre there somewhere else. So this took one individual working on it 6 months to complete. So when you have the opportunity to take a slightly closer look, that's one person working on it. So 133 is come towards the end here. 133 is interesting in so much as this was seen as really shocking. Okay, commissioned in 1960, it was important that he went forwards quite a lot of himself. However, King George got wind of this and so wrote him a polite letter and said, listen, Prime Minister, if you're going to go then I'll have to go. At which point, right where there was Prime Minister, you're definitely not going Prime Minister. And so, unfortunately, Churchill did not advance in their field. Now it's easy for us to think that once the breaches were captured, the fighting is over. It was very much not over. Further into country, you have an area called Bocage, which is close country, dense hedgerows, ditches, etc. And so in this panel,
that was the D-Day Museum. It's a fantastic little museum, as I said. Tells the story of the D-Day landing, especially from Portsmouth, as well as having the landing craft tank 7074. It's certainly worth a visit if you're ever down here in the areas. You should be able to get a bus to this, although at the moment the construction work's going on the promenade. It probably takes a heck of a detour. But you can walk to the D-Day Museum from Portsmouth Harbour. If you leave straight away and don't bugger about like I do, it'll probably take you about 20-30 minutes to get down to here, depending on your pace. But no, it's a great little museum. Great area of Portsmouth. I'm going to have a nose around the area and I'm going to make my way back up to the harbour.